Well, hello there, and welcome back to yet another installment of Alright guys, so today I have got a wild and amazing Randy Rhoads inspired Diminished lick. The main thought process for this comes from the Ozzy Osbourne tribute album, obviously with Randy Rhoads live playing all over it. At the very end of Suicide Solution, Randy puts down this pretty wild and amazing solo, and lo and behold, there's this one little diminished kind of phrase idea that he has in there that just sounds spectacular. Anyway, I've taken that idea, I've modified it a little bit just to kind of give you some more Randy Rhoads style diminished licks, pack them into this one kind of sequence, and yeah, I'm gonna show them to you. So let's go. All right, so a few things to take care of before we get going. Everything will be done in good old standard tune, no surprises there. I'm using basically the same kind of construction around diminished that Randy was using in that solo I mentioned. You could think of this as F sharp diminished. Or if you like, you can think of it the way I usually think of these things, as the second scale degree of E minor, okay? And of course with diminished scales, what you really need to remember here, if you're not familiar with them, is that it's just basically stacking minor third. So if we're doing this thing obviously in F sharp diminished, we go a minor third away, a minor third from that, a minor third from that, a minor third from that. You get the idea. Not rocket science, pretty easy, symmetrical patterns, easy to use. Really simple stuff, guys. Tones today will be brought to you by this lovely 1989 Charvel Dinky, which I just got and am still in the honeymoon phase with. So I'll be playing this. All audio is just going to be coming through the camera mic here, and I'm just playing through an old trainer head and an old V30 cab. All right, let's go. All right, guys, let me play through this thing one time slowly just so you can kind of see and hear what this should look and sound like. Cool. All right, guys, so to start this lick off, what we're going to be playing is this. Okay, and all that is, what we're doing is we're going to start right here on the 4th fret of your D string. Play that, put some vibrato on it. Now what we're going to be doing is moving in tritones, so the devil's tritone, which we know would be that note right there, which is, of course, located on your 5th fret of your G string. And that happens to be a C. So play that, put some vibrato on it. This is what we got so far. And now, of course, because of the way that a guitar is tuned, the next tritone is up here. So that is the 7th fret of your B string. And of course, that would be an F sharp note, and we're doing this in F sharp diminished. So that makes perfect sense. Okay, so the whole lick up to here should look like this. Okay, good. Okay, so the next part of this sequence lick thing should look and sound kind of like this. Okay, and this is really simple, guys. We just ended the last lick, or last phrase up here, right, which was the 7th fret of your B string. And I remember we were talking about just stacking minor thirds, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing, is we're going to grab the minor third up here, which is right there, which would be the A note located on your B string. Or if you're more into fret numbers, that of course would be the 10th fret. And anyway, the basic pattern will look kind of like this. Okay, and all I'm going to be doing for that, guys, is I'm going to be grabbing my B string right here on the 7th fret. And I'm going to play that 7, 10, 7, and then I'm going to come over here onto my G string, and I'm going to be playing the 8th fret. And then, of course, back here to the 7th fret on the B string, and then back onto the G string on the 8th fret. So we have this all together. Okay, so just practice that little lick. And of course, I think Randy, when he played this, picked everything. But you don't need to pick everything. You can always do this using legato and hammer-ons if you like, kind of a if that's easier. Doesn't really matter, still gonna sound pretty wicked, okay? So all together for this section up to this point, this is what we have. Okay, so once we have that done, what I want you to do is jump over here onto the 5th fret of your G string, and we're gonna be doing the same intro, like that, but because of course the way the guitar is tuned, now instead of grabbing, right there, we're gonna be grabbing here, which is the 7th fret of your D string. Okay, so we have this for this part. And we know we have to go back onto the G string on the 5th fret, play that once. And then we come over here onto the 7th fret of the D string and play that once. Okay, so we have this all together up to this point. Okay, and you got it. Now we're just going to repeat the exact same pattern we just did. No changes at all, but we're going to be starting it now over here on the F sharp located right there on the 4th fret of your D string. So just go ahead and repeat the exact same pattern. Got it? Okay, so all together we've got this. And you got it, guys. This is real rocket science. We're going to repeat the exact same thing, but now we're starting right down here on the C note located on the 3rd fret of your A string. Okay, and to end this phrase, so up to this point we've got this. What I want you to do is a very Randy Rhoads thing and just walk all the way down to the F sharp, but do it chromatically. So we'd be like this. And put some vibrato on it. Okay, so all we're doing after we end the... That's how we're just going to end that phrase, okay? So, whole phrase all together should look and sound like this. Okay, so the next section should look and sound kind of like this. Okay, and this is dead simple, guys. All I'm going to do here is we're just going to be on the F sharp, of course, and we're going to do a very Randy Rhoads style thing. We're just going to do some trills off of that minor 3rd, like that, and then we're going to jump down a string, and of course we know the way that diminished works. We're going to be jumping to the flat 5 of the F sharp, which happens to be a C, and we're going to do the exact same thing. And you got it, moving diagonally across. Keep going. And then it'll end right up here on the 7th fret of your B string. Like that. I'm using my pinky, but you can use, your ring finger if it's nice and strong. Whatever works for you. So anyway, that whole section played slowly should look and sound kind of like this. Alright, so the next section should look and sound kind of like this. Okay, and all I'm doing for this, folks, is we of course ended the last section here, doing that sort of thing. All we're going to be doing, since we know this is just stacked minor 3rds, is you did your kind of trill there. You're just going to move up to the one you were just trilling to and do the exact same thing. So of course we're just trilling now off the 10th going to the 13th. And then you're going to move up and just go off the 13th to the 14th. And all this is on the B string, of course. And this is where things get a little bit different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump onto my high E string and do the exact same thing, but this time I'm starting off on the 14th fret. Just like that. All right, so all together up to that point, here's what we have. Okay, now once you got into there, this is where things get pretty crazy. This is a really neat lick. Randy doesn't do it in this part in the solo, but I've seen him do this in a lot of other solos, and it sounds super cool. So you just finished your trill here, right? When you finish off doing that trill, instead of moving up one, what I want you to do is take your pick, and you can just take the edge of your pick, and you're going to go up a minor 3rd now, so you're going to be slamming that thing right down here on the 20th fret, and just tap it really quickly. And as you do that, what I want you to do is bend up, okay? So it makes that sound, which is super neat. You hear Randy do this sort of thing all over his solos on those first 2 Ozzy records. Really cool technique. All right, so that whole section up to that point should look and sound kind of like this. All right, so here's the last section, and it's dead simple. Okay, and all I'm doing there, guys, is after you're done with your tapping trill bit, I just want you to pick and slide in on the B string right up here to the 20th fret. And then I want you to pick the 20th fret and the 21st fret on the E string together and bend them up slowly, okay? So it should look and sound kind of like this. All right. Now, if you find that kind of weird and too hard to do and you happen to have a whammy bar that's fully floating, what you could do is this. That also works. So just experiment, see what works for you. All right, and play it a little bit quicker, should look and sound kind of like this. All right, guys, maximum effort. All right, guys, there you have it. One Randy Rhoads inspired diminished lick sequence shred thing. Really neat lick, really neat phrasing, super simple to use, super simple to incorporate into your own playing. Guaranteed to impress your friends. Hope you guys found this somehow useful and informative. If you did learn anything, please make sure you consider hitting the like and subscribe and helping my channel grow. And as per usual, guys, just keep on shredding, and we'll talk to you in the next video.